Hello everybody, I'm Katie Reid from Outdooransweruk UK, and I've been asked very kindly by Becky to come and do a bit of a talk for you today as an alumni of Branch into Nature. I did the course, I really enjoyed it, and the Rooted into Nature course, so I did both of them and got a lot out of them, and I just wanted to tell you what I got out of them and what's happened since I've done both courses. So just to give you a bit of background information, I've worked in the outdoor industry for over 10 years. I did sociology at Cardiff, I did a degree, and then I came home, wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do, and worked for the Staffordshire Wildlife Trust at their Wolsey Centre, and all around Staffordshire I did birthday parties, school deliveries, holiday clubs, and I also did nature tots, which was for under fives all around Tamworth and also in the Stoke area in Shore Start centres when they were about. So I planned them, I delivered them, I worked with volunteers, I really enjoyed that. I then decided I needed to branch further, go further afield. Where did I fancy next? So I moved to Dorset. I lived in Swanage for 3 years and I worked for an outdoor education centre that did field studies at Door on the Jurassic Coast. We took children to the seaside, did lots of adventures, all sorts of things, rock pooling, team building, rock climbing, lots of things. So I absolutely loved that and I had a really good time. I then came back and decided to do my teaching degree. So I did my teaching degree at Staffordshire University, went into teaching but decided classroom life was not for me. I really miss being in the outdoors. I love working with kids, I love teaching new things, but I just felt like being sat in a classroom for 6 hours a day with 30 other children just wasn't, I thought there was a different way, maybe a better way, maybe just a different way. So I kind of went in to look for that. So I went away to Seville and worked in Seville for a few months. And then I came back and I've done supply for a few years, doing supply TAing, going around different schools, seeing how they do it, getting lots of experience. So I've been to quite a few schools around Staffordshire area, so I've really enjoyed that. And then obviously lockdown happened, so any plans I kind of had changed. I was going to go to Australia, do lots of different things. So they were all put on the back burner. I'd always had forest schools at the back of my brain, but I'd always worked with people who had it, so I never really needed it. I'd kind of got some of the skills, but didn't really ever, didn't really ever pay the money for me to go and do it. I think it was quite a lot of money for me. I couldn't get funded by a school. And then I ended up doing the course, and I thought, why not? Like, I spend that much money on something else, maybe a holiday if I fancied it. Why not put that into myself, let myself grow a bit more, put it into some development, come out of lockdown and have this amazing skill. So that's what I decided to do. I booked on for the following January, which was then delayed. So it started in May 2021. That's when we started. So I've just finished the 5 weekly courses, and then I've got the first aid to do and some of the practical stuff, and then obviously the whole handbook, I've got to fill that in. So I'm right in the midst of it at the minute. Really enjoying it, having a lovely time. And during lockdown, I also ended up working for a heritage centre. I saw a message on Facebook that was asking for people who wanted to bring their children to the English Street Orangery and do lots of events. So I just messaged them to see if I could volunteer with whoever was doing those events. I love working outside, I love working with children. And they said, oh, we haven't actually got anyone yet to do those events. Would you be interested? So I ended up getting a job that way, and I worked for them during the holidays, during weekends. I love it, have a lovely time, really enjoy it. So I do that quite a lot of the time. So you can find me there. I'm there all every Wednesday in the summer holidays, always doing activities. Not quite forest school, but they are outdoor. They are outdoor in nature. So we do like dens, we do headbands made out of all sorts of sticks and feathers and all sorts of things. We did a lovely, big, massive Halloween event, which was all outside. That was really cool. We've done Hapazone, which is a Japanese art form where you like hammer petals onto material. That's been amazing. We've really enjoyed that. So yeah, just kind of come up with ideas, and I do all sorts of things and just really enjoy it. So how did Outdoor Answer come about? That was kind of, I was doing all these things, these amazing things, and really enjoying it. Knew I was about to go and do my forest school, and then was in isolation for a week from the school I was at. Unfortunately, somebody had a case, so we went into isolation. And I thought, I'm going to put all my ideas and everything that I do in one place so people can come, they can look at them, they can see how amazing all the things I do are, and I just really enjoy them, really. So that's what I decided to do. So I made Outdoor Answer UK on Instagram, and I also have a Facebook, and I share inspiration, I share ideas for things that I do, I share things that made me laugh, I share things that are interesting, if there's any new policies out or if there's anything that I've read that I thought was really interesting, any data. So my numbers have been growing, I've been quite impressed. I kind of just did it so I knew, I had like a portfolio almost, so I knew where everything was. I've got so much inspiration from Instagram as well. There's so many people doing so many amazing things all around the world. So it's lovely to see what they're up to, what different providers are doing. So that's brilliant to see. I've really enjoyed it for that. So let me just check my notes. Let me just check what I'm meant to be talking about. So I absolutely loved the course. I really enjoyed it. So I also volunteer for Roots, so in Stafford, and the Plastic Free Shop. I do some volunteering for them. And I am the social media and the organiser of green drinks events for Cinch, which is sustainable in Colwich and Hayward. So that's our plastic free branch in our village. So we have green drinks, which we have a speaker to come along normally, or we just talk as a group. It used to be in a local sports and social club, so we could have a drink. And then obviously the last few months it has been in on Zoom. But we've had some amazing speakers. We've had bats, an expert on bats. We've had experts on recycling in the local area. We started to do, since we can, green walks. So we go out in the local area and we have a look to see what we're doing. So if you've got any interest in that, that was brilliant. So I kind of was doing all these things, and somebody shared on one of those about the about branching to nature, about rooted into nature, and said maybe it'd be something that I'd be interested in. And I love learning, so I thought, why not? I'm working 9 to 5, and then I can come home and it's something I can do. And I'm so glad I did. I love the style of the course. I love Padlet. I've never used that before and really enjoyed it. Liked all the links. At the end of every week, I'd have tabs and tabs and tabs open on my computer ready to explore during the week. I love the WWF video that they showed right at the beginning about people in the city, how the amount's going to grow so much and that we just need to go and sit into nature. I love the fact that they explain that we are nature, that we are so important and we are part of it. So I really enjoyed all of that. It was nice every week to have such a broad mixture of ideas, to listen to the people that were from all round. I just think everybody has so much knowledge. I might know one thing that somebody else doesn't know, and then they know another thing. And I really enjoyed that. I loved sharing all that knowledge and hearing other people's ideas and sharing links and stuff. And I loved having the research, the actual data. There was lots of really interesting resources that backs up what I've always been saying, and lots of other people have been saying, and it's true. It's, nature is really good for us. The outdoors is amazing. So I love that they provided us with that. I thought it was amazing. So I think there is an obvious need for going out. That's how I got into my forest school. I kind of looked at this data that we've been presented with, looked at Love, who was saying, there's this nature crisis. I read that and just thought, well, we've got to do something. Derby University are doing such a lot of research. I didn't know about that until I did the course, and I've been looking into that ever since, dipping in and out of it. That we're in a well-being crisis, we've also in a natural crisis, and all of these things can work together. Although I do work with children, I'm really hoping that I will use my forest school skills and all the skills I've collected over the years and be doing adult sessions for wellness, sessions for mindfulness. It's all things I really want to get into because I think it's really important. It helped me when I needed help. I think, it's not just about knowing which bird you're looking at, or because I certainly don't, or which plant, but it's just being immersed in it, knowing that you are part of nature and it's such an important part of us, that we need to go out and see it and protect it and make sure it's there for the next lot of people. I think it's so important. So I decided to invest in myself. I decided to go and do my forest school, and I started my Insta page, and then here we are. This is what's happened. Becky's said she's really impressed with what I've done, which is such a lovely thing to hear. And I'm now here talking to you, and I hope you've really enjoyed the course and you've got a lot out of it. One of the things I would say, my bit of wisdom, I suppose, my bit of advice would be ask for help. Ask people. People have done it before. You're not the first. I really liked the way that certain things of the course were presented, and I asked what had been used, and they'd used Canva, and I now use Canva for everything that I make, and it was a completely free resource, and I'd never heard of it before. And it was only through sending that email to Rachel and getting the reply back that I could then use that. So people love to share ideas. They love that you like what they're doing. and there are so many people out there. I think that's really important. That would be my biggest piece of advice. My other piece of advice would be, I was really worried because there's so many fantastic forest school practitioners out there. There's so many people doing such amazing things. And I was like, oh, well, we don't need another person, do we? There's no need for me to come along and do it. And somebody I know said, walk down your high street and see how many chicken shops there are. Just count how many, you've got your KFCs, you've got your local chicken shop owners, so you've probably got 3 or 4 on every high street next to each other. They didn't think, oh, there's somebody else doing that, I'm not going to bother. So I think, and I love that, every time I walk down the street now, I'm like looking for, if I go to a new town, I'm looking for chicken shops. But you know, there's all sorts of things like that. Outdoor shops, you've got Go Outdoors, you've got Warehouse, you've got Millets. They're competing against each other, but in a kind of a nice way. You'd go to one and then the other. So forest school leaders on the whole seem absolutely lovely. They want to share their ideas, they want to support you. I've had loads of really good advice from Rachel. She was absolutely lovely. As I said, people have done it before, they're willing to help you. My forest school trainer has been amazing at the Wildlife Trust. He's given us loads of advice. He's been doing it for years, so he knows like the ropes and stuff as well, what's expected. So it's all these kind of things to remember, I think. So just brilliant. I just really hope that you've all a lovely time. There's lots of information out there. I found Instagram really helpful. Podcasts are really helpful as well. There's all sorts of things you can do. So I'm Katie. I am at Outdoor Answer UK. If you would like to share any ideas or you'd like to connect with me in any way, please add me on Instagram. I'd love to talk to you. It'd be amazing. Thank you so much for your time. Any questions, ask me on there as well. Thank you. Bye.